The 7th Acoustic Supernova is currently priced around $849. And here we have the ZiiGaat Luna. Well, what if I tell you this can be a budget supernova and ZiiGaat is on a roll? Good day guys, this is Practiphile, and today, yes, we are going to talk about the ZiiGaat Luna here. Thank you so much, ZiiGaat, for sending this in for a review. Whee! So yeah, the ZiiGaat Luna is currently priced around, how much is this? I think $379. Yeah, it is a 6BA earphone, and it's using 2 Sanyon BAs for the subwoofers, 2 nulls for the mids, and 2 nulls tweeters. So that's a total of 6. The last time I was surprised about an all BA setup was with the Studio 4, and I still like the Studio 4 now. I do think it's still one of the best implementation of bass, although it's a BA. But let's see how the Luna competes with some 6BA sets. So let's start off with the unboxing. It's significantly bigger. You know, it came with a bigger box. It is the same carrying case, but this time it is with an upgraded cable. The cable is interchangeable, 3.5 and 4.4 millimeters. The quality is probably about the same, just the pins are a little bit different. The design is, I like the design. So it looks like that one over there. I don't know if you can see that, but just look at my B-roll, it's probably better. Yeah, fit and comfort, it's ZiiGaat. Like, you know what? ZiiGaat has made their own, I think they marked a significant overall design. Like, if you see an IM, you know it's ZiiGaat. You know what I mean? You can't mistake it for anything else. It's just, you just know it's ZiiGaat. If it's black and some glittery and something, it's probably ZiiGaat. So yeah, let's move on now to how they sound. Alright, so objectively, the ZiiGaat looks like that one. So as you can see, it's a colored sound. It's probably balanced, probably mildly V or U-shaped, because you see there an elevation on the bass, especially some elevation on the mid bass there. It's still tucked, but not really hard tuck. I think it cuts around 300. You get a flat line in there until 1K. Not a lot of gain, which is good for people who are sensitive to upper mid-range, you know, and shout. So not a lot of gain elevation. Some energy there in the 6 to 8K for some brilliance, and then a little bit of extension there past 10K. So overall, this is a colored sound. It's a BA bass. You would know it's a BA bass because it lacks that impact and oomph. It has the quality, but it feels like it's not complete, if you know what I mean. Mids are very open sounding and clean. Again, there's no shout or whatsoever. Just amount of brilliance in the treble. I didn't hear any peaks, probably a little bit on cymbal heavy tracks, but all in all, very, very good extension in my honest opinion. And so moving on to the scoring, wherein I score different sets. Check my video right here if you don't know how I score IEMs. Let's start with its tonality. So let me overlay my balance target in there. My balance target has an overall lift there in the like 3K, because I want vocals to be forward, but it's not a hard rule. Sometimes I like IEMs that have lesser gain because it's just more relaxing to listen to. And that's what Luna is all about. It's a very relaxing, not really relaxing, but you don't really hear a lot of shout. I like its tonality. I just like the overall balance of everything. I know it's colored. Again, listening to music is a consumption, you know, like if I have to listen to an earphone for longer extended periods, it's probably, maybe I can listen to like neutral sounding sets, but I'd probably enjoy more if it's colored, if you know what I mean. I think at least that's for me. So yeah, for the tonality on this one here, I do like the overall balance of everything, so I'm giving it a 3. So moving on to the bass, as you can see there is some elevation in there in the mid bass. It is fun sounding, but then again, it lacked that kind of like physicality. It slams hard. I still like the implementation of the bass. It's just that there are IEMs, like even cheaper, that does bass better in a way that it's more textured and then more physicality, and it's just the limitation of the BA here. And even if they like increase the elevation in there, it did help a little bit, but still, a BA bass is a BA bass, and you gotta hear what a BA bass sounds like. But still, for the bass, I'm giving it 2.5. Moving on to the mids, I do think that the mids sound very natural. Instruments sound okay. Guitars, like even my drum kit, I was playing, because recently I bought like an electric drum. Just a disclaimer, it is electric, so most of the sounds are recorded, but still, if treble is boosted, I know cymbals are gonna sound unnatural, but I didn't hear it with the Luna. The Luna just sounds crisp and natural decaying cymbals on my kit at least. So yeah, for the mids, I'm giving it a 3. Moving on to the treble, I do think that the treble is well implemented as well. I may prefer like a steady decline in there, but maybe it's because of the overall balance. You know, like they increase the bass in there. Maybe if they don't put some treble in there, it's gonna sound some, you know, dark or something. And so maybe they put some energy on the 6 to 8K to find that perfect balance. And I mean, like, yeah, it's colored sound, but I don't mind. I mean, like, the treble still sounds very, very good. And maybe paired with that extension in there, past 10K, perfect. I just like the treble implementation on this one here. So for the treble, I'm giving it 3. And lastly, for the technicalities, it has some good stage depth and good, you know, 3D spacing. But then again, because if it's an all BA bass, I do find that it's, how do I say? It could have been better if there was a DD in there to make everything sound more organic and natural, especially on the bass. So sad to say, I mean, it's still good. I mean, technically it is still okay. It's just that I would have preferred to have a DD physicality in there so that everything sounds coherent and natural. But hey, I'm still giving the technicalities 2.5, and overall ranking, it's still 13, and 13 is an S for me. So yeah, ZiiGaat Luna, S ranker in this price category here, because this is priced like 379, right? So this one should compete on earphones on this price range, and I'm going to compare it to some earphones here. And so let's start with the first comparison here, and I said it's the Supernova. And if you look at the graph right there we go. You know, like 379 and 800 or almost 900, that's like almost 3 times or twice the price. And yeah, I do hear a resemblance, and I think it's the overall gain in there. Like, look at that, like from 300 hertz down until probably like 10K, it looks like just channel imbalance. I know it's a different set. I know the Supernova sounds a little bit different, but still, like, it is close sounding. It is close. The Supernova ranked an A+ for me. It didn't reach an S because of its price. But the ZiiGaat Luna, I'd probably pick the ZiiGaat Luna over this one because, again, it's much cheaper and it sounds as good as the Supernova in my opinion. Next one would probably be the Affles. You know, why the Affles? Because if I overlay all of the Affles here, I'm trying to prove a point that the ZiiGaat Luna is actually using a formula that has worked before, and it is the formula that Affle had been using. Let's say, for example, the Affle Performer 5 in there. You see a similar pattern in the gain area where it's lesser gain, some energy in 8K, and some extension. That's a Performer 5. A lot of people liked it. The Performer 5 plus 2, look at that. Like, you know, it's the same formula, only that probably the Luna has more maybe meteor bass, although it's a BA bass, but I think it helps with the overall balance. And finally, the Cantor right there. The Cantor, although it has lesser bass overall, and it's, you know, in situ and listening, you also feel that the Cantor has lesser bass but more extended treble. But then again, a lot of people like this kind of approach. You know, a low gain with some elevated upper, mid-range, and lower treble, and voila, perfect. Now the question though, like for the comparison of both, I'd probably pick the Luna on this one here. I mean, like, of course the Luna is more expensive than the Performer 5 and 5 plus 2. If you are on a budget, maybe you can pick them. Let's say, for example, Performer 8 though, are they close? Probably, yeah, because the Performer 8 is in this price range, so I'd probably choose, it's either or. Like, if you want more neutral sounding, maybe the Performer 8. If you want more balance, then probably the Luna is for you. Next one is Electro S12 2024. Okay, I forgot to explain this one here. The reason why I'm putting the S12 2024 here is it actually resembled, like when I first listened to the Luna, I immediately thought of this sounds like the S12 2024s. And when I checked the graph, yes, although it's a planar and, you know, like it's a little bit different in attack, but the tonality is really, it reminded me of the S12 to say the least. And so because of that, the tonality was really familiar for me. But the thing is, the S12 also is a very, it's a limited edition, it's a planar. What I'm saying here is I think I have some consistency on the things that I like, and it's not different with the Luna. Like, even if it doesn't follow my target, I still liked it because the sound is so familiar for me. So if you want an upgrade, it's not really an upgrade to the S12. If you have the S12 2024s, it's probably redundant to get the Luna. But if you want to experience like a BA kind of approach, a more tamer, I would say, if you think that the S12 is more aggressive but you like the tonality, probably the Luna is the one to get. That's my point there. Next up is probably the S15s. They're still Let's Show S15s. Again, same formula that worked with Let's Show, same elevation in the bass and some energy there in the treble, and boom, perfect. You know, like still the same formula, but I feel like the bass on the Let's Show S15 is much more nuanced and textured and rumbly. So if you want bass, if you want to focus on bass, probably the S15 is the one to get. And for the mid-range, I feel like the mid-range on the Luna is more realistic because sometimes the S15 has that kind of like just the tail end of the treble, just a little bit of, you know, treble energy there can be a little bit fatiguing. So yeah, if you want bass, S15s. If you want smoother response, get the Luna. Next one, again, it's the same price category. It's the Pilgrim there, so it's a little bit different. Why it's here, it's probably because of the gain. The Pilgrim doesn't have enough bass to compensate with that gain, but all I'm saying is the Luna has the recipe of a good sounding set. All of the things that I compared here are well received by the community, and I think that the Luna is gonna sound good even to a child. That is my point. The Luna is gonna sound good. Now the question is your pocket gonna allow that? Because it's $379, right? It's still a lot. I know it's a lot, so I suggest you audition. It reached an S because the tonality is, I mean, like maybe if you're in a budget, maybe the Affles you're better off with the Affles, but then again, most of the Affle sets that I've tried, they're not really that natural in the treble, and a lot of IEMs in the lower price category just doesn't do treble well. But the Luna, I mean, like if you're already in the hobby wherein you want some little improvement, like you're looking for natural sounding sets, I don't even know what I'm saying. I just feel like the Luna is a good option if you want to enjoy your music. You know, like you're tired of chasing reference and like endgame. You know, like I think the Luna, you can endgame with the Luna. I have different earphones here, and I've been reaching to the Lunas more often. Like almost every day, I take the Luna with me when I work. I listen. Honestly, really, I just listen to the Luna more often than any of the earphones, at least for now. And that says a lot. So that's it for my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you think my content is helpful, consider liking. And ZiiGaat, you did it again. ZiiGaat Luna, audition it if you can. Thank you so much. Have a good day.